Should you really drop $200 more to go for iPhone 17 over iPhone 16e? Let's find out. Real quick, if you want to keep up to date with all the latest Apple news and reviews, hit that subscribe button. As is often the case, most of the coverage around Apple's new iPhone lineup is focused on the Pros, or even the new iPhone Air. While those models dominate headlines, the more affordable models are moving by the millions. This year is unique though, as Apple also has the iPhone 16e in the lineup, and it launched only a few months ahead of the 17. So for budget-conscious users, I'm going to talk about whether or not it's worth it to splurge on the iPhone 17, or if you're safe, buying the 16e. Unlike other comparisons, I'm not going to focus solely on every difference, but I'm going to focus on the ones that are most impactful for daily use. For most users, the difference will boil down to the display, the camera, and the battery. Display first. The screen on iPhone 17 is slightly larger, though I doubt you'd notice unless you have the phones side by side. It's also a 120Hz Pro Motion display on the 17. If you ask any techie person, they'll say that this matters in making your phone feel and look smoother as you interact with it. I've yet to speak to an average user, though, who has been able to even notice a difference here in that refresh rate. There is one big change, though, that I do think is more profound on the displays. The iPhone 17 has a brighter display that also supports always on mode. I see the comments. It is one of the things I get asked repeatedly. People asking how to keep their displays on, not realizing their phones don't support it, especially in standby mode. For me, it's huge. I love docking my phone in standby to see widgets or live activities while on my desk, in the kitchen, or the clock at night. Or it's a cute photo stand when docked in a common space. So I think always on mode is a big deal for users, even just seeing the time while on your desk without picking it up. The brightness helps, but it isn't as profound as I'd have liked. I took both phones out into the midday sun and there was hardly a noticeable difference between them. You'll probably get a bit better glare reduction on the new Ceramic Shield 2 coating, but nothing massive. The battery and charging tech on the new iPhone 17 line is pretty impressive. Apple upped the wired charging to yield about a 50% charge in only 20 minutes using a 40-watt or higher charger. It, of course, announced its own first-party accessories that it sells for a premium, like the 40-watt dynamic power adapter and the iPhone Air MagSafe battery. What I've been recommending, though, is this tiny 45-watt Anker Nano charger. It's smaller than Apple's and still will fast charge your iPhone. I love how small it is for travel while also being more affordable than Apple's. I'm also obsessed with the Anker Nano power bank. It is as thin as Apple's, but it works with all the MagSafe iPhone models, not just iPhone Air. With 15 watts of wireless output, it charges faster than I can finish off my day's third cold brew. And with 5,000 milliamp hours of capacity, no matter how much content I am creating, games I'm playing, or YouTube I'm watching, I can make it through the day. That makes Apple's not only more expensive, but it is slower at 12 watts instead of 15, and has only around 3,000 milliamp hours of capacity instead of 5,000 compared to this Anker model. Grab both of these new accessories for your iPhone at the link in the description. Then we have the cameras. With iPhone 17, you get two cameras, the ultra-wide lens and the primary lens. The iPhone 16e only has the latter. I typically use the Pro phones that have 3 cameras on the back. I just did another video where I compared the Air, also with a single lens, against the 17 Pro. I have linked it here for you if you would like to check that out. In that, I did an analysis of my photos over the last 2 years and found that 1%, less than 1% of my shots were with the ultra-wide lens. So I use it, but not a ton. You can get some neat shots with it, and it's great for travel, but don't anticipate using it just as much as you do the regular camera that both models share. The real win when it comes to the cameras is the selfie cam. The new front-facing center stage camera is amazing. It went from 12 to 18 megapixels and can take landscape photos while in portrait orientation. I really like this. it's come in handy a ton so far. As more people hop into the photo, it's able to automatically rotate and zoom out to fit more people in. I am an unabashed selfie fan. I love taking photos in the moment with my partner, kids, and friends. This is the first meaningful update that we've gotten to this front-facing camera in years, and it's great. The only asterisk to this is that the current trend is, instead of using the selfie camera, a lot of people younger than me use the rear-facing ultra-wide. They just hold the phone up without seeing the screen and snap. Perhaps the new wider, higher resolution selfie camera would change that, but I'm just kind of putting it out there. Either way, the wider selfie cam and the ultra-wide are both iPhone 17 exclusives in this compare. Finally, I want to talk about the battery and charging. My biggest complaint about the iPhone 16e from day one is the lack of MagSafe and Qi 2. I still think it is unacceptable for a flagship phone from Apple to lack MagSafe. And yes, I still count this as a flagship phone, even if it's a budget one. MagSafe is great. Car mounts, charging trees, magnetic wallets, stands, tripods, battery packs, all work with MagSafe. Apple says that buyers of the 16e don't use MagSafe and usually just plug their phones in each night and forget about it. I disagree. My mother, my grandmother, my non-techie relatives all have MagSafe chargers in their homes, and it has nothing to do with me pushing it on them. My mom uses a MagSafe wallet she bought because she loves how convenient it is. Especially with the adoption of Qi 2 that brought prices down significantly, I think magnetic mounts, chargers, and accessories have gone mainstream. Even those who upgrade every several years and just want a budget phone will see the value in MagSafe. Not to mention, MagSafe and Qi 2 can add up to 25 watts of wireless power versus only 7.5 watts for midday top-offs. And the iPhone 17 has an overall larger battery life of 30 hours versus 26 in Apple's rating. As I mentioned, these are just the big differences. There are a bunch of smaller changes too. There's Thread for smart home control, ultra wideband for better Find My capabilities, the dynamic island instead of the notch, a generation newer A19 processor, and cinematic mode for video. Quite frequently, I tell people to buy the cheaper phones. Apple does a lot of really nice features that aren't as much of a necessary value add as they are just nice to have, as I usually say. But between these two, I do think it is worth splurging that $200 to get the iPhone 17 over the 16e. At least for right now. Rumors are already swirling about a new iPhone 17e coming in 2026, but I can talk about that in a different video. Let me know what you think between these two devices down below in the comments. Otherwise, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.